Okay, let's look at the assignment for this week. Again, this may be lengthy. This will get shorter as we go along. I just want to make sure you understand what we're working for. So when we're looking at the part that we're adding to the final project, we're looking at the example at the end, and this is going to be in every module. I'm going to have the example in PDF and the image, just as I stated before, and also module 1. So what I'm trying to do here is make sure you have different ways of looking at it. When you share something in a PDF, it doesn't tend to shift. And when we're looking at this, the spacing and the hanging indents are very important. So just like we did before, you'll put your name, annotated bibliography in process or progress, whatever works for you. I need to look that one up to see which one is better. I'm not really sure. LIB 101-Module 2, thesis question. Here, unlike mine, yours should be changed. It may have more or less to it. It does not have to be perfect, but I would like to see some sort of change or a different approach. So, you have a lot of things you worked on in this thing, so make sure you bring it in. These are 3 new keywords, not your old 3. This will bring you up to 6 keywords you'll have on hand for the 15 you need for the final project. So, in keywords land, we're getting really close. What we'll eventually do is break these out into phrase searching, truncation, and also Boolean logic, some search strategy. And I tell you, these 3 pieces are the ones I chose for this course because I use them every single week. Seriously. And they also work on Google, which I understand for some of you is your favorite place to go. So it's good to know about them. So you're going to be looking for a government document. When you look at a government document, the reference for it is going to be a little bit different. And a government document could actually be a journal. In the case of the CDC, there's several publications. Also, all sorts of different places. They may have magazines or journal articles. So when you see those, that will be the reference style you use. But if it's a regular page, you're going to have to look and see, does it have authors or not have authors to make your reference citation decision. In this case, this did not have an individual author, so I use the department, in this case the Office of Disease Prevention and Health Promotion, that wrote it. That will be the author for this. This is the year, in parentheses, 2010, ends with a period. The title is in italics, and that's a little odd if you're thinking about the journal, but that's going to switch up per piece. It's going to be italics, but the name, the capitalization is going to be the same. If first initial will be capitalized, a acronym, proper noun or noun phrase will be capitalized, something following a colon will be capitalized. So in this case, only the A. In government documents, there's usually an overarching person who is running that department or place. In this case, U.S. Health and Human Services Department. It's over all sorts of things, including the CDC. And so it takes this place. So we know this is under this, and it's usually on the page. If you cannot find it, this is where you ask a librarian. That's a perfectly acceptable thing to ask. I get asked these questions all the time. And eventually, when you become more familiar with the process, you'll be able to find it yourself. This is like something you're not supposed to automatically know, but you should know who to ask to find it. And in this case, it is me in your role as librarian and instructor. For this, I would like you to have 2 sentences. I'm using 44 words. I want it to be substantive. You see here, I'm describing it like an archaeologist. That's actually awesome. And it also keeps you from plagiarism because you are describing it so someone understands it and you yourself understand it, but it is not like leeching or taking or copy pasting from an abstract, which you never use for this. You always look for your full text. But it's just a sort of a technique that we'll go through to make sure that you're okay. The next thing you'll do is social media. I want you to use Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. This will be, in this case, this will be the owner of the account. Now, every time you do this, you're going to have to look this up in the style blog or if you buy the book, because it's actually very difficult. Social media reference is very odd. You're going to use, actually I'm going to have to change this. This is actually wrong. So I'm going to have to fix this before I show it, because you have factcheck.org and then you'll have the name like the Twitter name or Facebook name, and then you will have the date, year, never abbreviate, ever abbreviate the month, the ninth, in parentheses, period. It's not a title you're using. You're going to use the first 25 words, or up to 25 words, of the post itself. Now, in this case, it had an image attached. Sometimes it has a video attached. It may not have anything attached. But if it does have an image or a video, you use the square brackets and put image attached or video attached. And then you put status update if that's what the part is, and that's what we're looking for here. And then you put Facebook and put the URL. Now we use the URL for both of these because you do not need to subscribe or sign in. So I, the user, can go into these and look at them. And I will make sure I fix this. But again, I would like to have 2 sentences. You'll see mine are quite substantive, and I'm up to 44 words. In the real deal, the social media is like 50 to 100. I would like probably to have like 150 to 300 on the government document. That's where you're headed. But this is at least kind of get you going, and you can go fill it in as you need to do so. So that's what it's supposed to look like. And this is the types of things you're going to need to do to make it happen. I'm going to put the video up here. I'm giving you a file name, telling you what to use, the 1-inch margins all around, 12 point times new point times new Roman or Arial. And this is what you need to put on the top of your page. Your thesis question should be changed. It should actually be like it was last week. In fact, we're going to look at changing it every single week, exhaustively. Remember, no one and done. We keep circling around, looking at it, teasing it out, and using it. Now you're going to give your 3 new keywords. And the government source, this is how you find it. You're going to use the Google Advanced Search. And let me show you how to do that. Google Advanced Search. It used to be like in a drop-down box, but it's not there anymore. And we're going to go to this place immediately. Now, I want you to look at this page. All these words, the main words in your keywords you could use here, exact words or phrase. It tells you to put them in quotes. This is actually a search strategy. We'll be talking about it as we go along. Any of these words, none of these words, this takes words out if you don't want to find them. And this is actually a Boolean search procedures right here. So you can use a lot of the search strategy we're talking about with databases coming up also with this. Now, what I want you to do that's a little bit different. This lets you search inside of different domain names. In this case, I'm going to look for .gov because I'd like to have a government document. I am working on COVID health literacy. I'm just going to put that in there and go to the advanced search. Now here I'm on the fancy page. I will see, this looks like it's something actually from PubMed. .gov, health literacy information, but I'm going to go up here to the tools. Remember in that previous video, we're looking at the tools. Maybe because this is fast moving, I want to look at the past month, and that's going to change what I see. You'll also see, do you notice there's no ads or anything? It strips out a lot of the noise. It also strips out your echo chamber. So this is a really beautiful search to help you find things and help you get past that first page of the zombie-like behavior 92% of everybody participates in, to go find real stuff. Here I see all sorts of things I might look at. I'm going to go into this. This happens to be with the CDCgov. I'm going to come in here and try to figure out what am I looking at. It's a healthcare literacy site. It talks about plans and all this. In general, I don't consider this to be the place I stop. The reason I wouldn't stop here is because this is links to things, and it doesn't really have content richness. It's sort of like a table of contents. I would more likely go into something and create a plan. Oh, let me look at this blueprint plan. Now, I'm going to put X, and it talks about what it is. It gives me a summary. It gives me goals and how I can use it. And this might be very useful for my piece. If I'm talking about the goals and the visions and things like that, I want to bring it into my piece. So when I'm going in looking for the things, the citation elements, first of all, I see it does not have an author. So I'm going to use Centers for Disease Control and Prevention as the author. I'm going to go down to see who this belongs to. Let's see. Have questions. Oh, it's a little bit down. I can't actually get my page that low. Let's see if I can. Let's move it down. It actually belongs to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. So I'm going to use that in my reference. Remember how when we looked at it before, we have a Centers for Disease Control. The next thing we have to worry about is the date. Last reviewed, this is going to be my date. I'm going to put parenthesis 2019, October 17th, in parenthesis, period. Then I'm going to go for the title. That title is right here. I'm going to take that. Hey, look, it's almost already in perfect order. Everything, oh, no, it's not. The only thing that should be capitalized here is, let's look at National Action Plan. Okay, we're going to go with National Action Plan is being used as a proper noun phrase. So this would be capitalized. The rest would not be. Next thing I would need to account for, of course, is go to the Health and Human Services part. And then I would need to end with a URL because this does not have a DOI number. And I would use this. So while I'm here, go ahead and pull all that information in to your work, and it's all on this page. If you have a page and like, I can't find that citation element, shoot me that URL and I'll go through it. I'll send you a little video and show how it looks, because all of you are going to have different looking items. And so it's hard for me to teach to all the things you're going to find. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you find. And if you can't find something specific on it, a date, a thing, what's the title, all this, what do I use? Reach out to me. I'll be glad to talk to you about it. So we use Google Advanced to find a .gov page that you'll need for your final project. So I just have a list of the citation elements. I have them here so you can sort of look over them again if you need to know, but I have them all listed out and I have some alternatives. Now, when you're putting them in order, you know how I kind of just threw that all out in the air. You have your example you can work with, and this should also help you. A government report can also be a press release or something like that. So if you're seeing something that looks really odd, ask me about it, because it may not be a government report webpage. It may be something with individual authors. It may actually be a journal or publication. It could be a white paper. It could be all sorts of things. But I put these in order of the thing that it will most likely be. And if this doesn't work, reach out to me. I have also how you format the author's name, but in the case that it may be an agency, make sure that you look at these very closely to see how they model that. It is unlikely you'll have a volume or issue number for these pieces, but you may, so I put them up there just in case. But if they're not there, you will not use them, and you'll use the examples I've provided here. And so I think I have everything pulled together for you on the government source, except with you're actually finding it. I hope you enjoy using the Google Advanced Search, because again, it has a lot of powerful tools for research that you really need. You need to get out of that echo chamber. You got to pop out of those sponsors ads, and you got to get to the raw materials and get to those drop down boxes underneath that search piece where you can do the real work. Now then, we're going to look at social media. I'm going to see if I can pull up Instagram and see if we can find something. On all of these platforms, it has a little search box, and you're going to be looking for a post. So let me set this search up so we can talk about that. So I came to twitter.com. You can actually do a search without signing in as well. You can also use that Google Advanced, and there's a place where you can put a domain like twitter.com and search inside of an entire site. You can do that search, or you can come here and do the search that they have prepared. Let us look for health care literacy and COVID-19. It may be that less is more is good for this. And I'm going to go look for things. Most of all the different platforms are putting this up, but I'm looking for something that I can quote within itself. And this might be something possible. It has a little piece, but I'm going to go further. I have something that misinformation on COVID-19 is polluting the internet. If I'm trying to make a point about something like that, I would use this. This is going to be the name. This is the username that follows the owner of the piece. The next thing you would be concerned about is the date, which will be 2020, comma, October, spelled out, 9th, in parentheses, in period. Then you would count 25 pieces, and that would be your citation instead of a title. And I didn't quite mean to do that, but there you go. And let's see, I can't remember which piece it is. Okay, it's down here. And you will copy the link to the tweet. And that will be that. You're not trying to go to another page. You're trying to find something inside of the social media that you can use. And there's actually quite a few things. If you're working on something in the business areas or education, you're going to find this really, really rich about finding anecdotes, personal experiences. You might be able to find different organizations, but the information they're putting out, you can share it. So you can also do this on Instagram. There's quite a few things. There's actually survivor pages, COVID survivor, if you're trying to look for a story about something like that. So there's a grand richness in these social media platforms, not just for this project, but for so many. And the thing that's great about these is the heat, the hotness. These are instant. You don't have to wait till tomorrow, the end of the day, or 6 o'clock. These things are happening immediately. So you can get very fresh, up-to-date information. On the previous page, I do have, a reference that you can look at, but I put these links in here for you to use, and these tell you and show you all the ways that it should look. You see it here, and this is the part, it talks about your account name. Okay, so my Facebook thing is right, but the Twitter is a little different, so make sure you look at them individually, and it shows you how to set the piece up exactly. And again, the thing that's kind of quirky about these are these bracketed things, but sometimes APA uses the square brackets after a title to tell you something different about that piece. Sometimes it's a report number, a video attached, or other types of information. Oh, and it's 20 words, not 25. So that's going to make that a little bit easier. So I've put a link to each of the things that you might use, and it's going to show you piece by piece what it should be, and it's going to give you also some alternatives. So I hope this was helpful. I know this is at 20 minutes. You hopefully put me at double pace, but this is how you do this thing. And these are glorious, rich searches, and I hope you use them. Now again, if you don't understand this, this is module 2. It is totally fine not to understand anything I just said. Monday nights, I'm doing Zoom room. Just come in 6 to 8. If you can't make it, make an appointment with me. If it's just a little thing, shoot me an email. We'll work on it together and figure it out. I hope you get really excited about this because, I'm hoping I'm taking your Google world, cracking it open a little bit, and showing you different ways to look at information, freshness. And when you have better research, guess what? You're a better writer. That's right. Think about it. So anyway, Module 2, I hope you enjoy it. Reach out to me if you need me.